Mashallah, Morocco did it again. Dima Maghreb.
It's Saibari! And history does repeat itself!
Try always with that. That's who you are. That's who you represent. You're over in US to represent who you are.
These guys love breaking European hearts. They did it to Spain and Portugal in 2022.
Morocco with the chance to win it and go through. Hakimi gets it done! Oh, what a moment for Morocco! Ashraf Hakimi!
In the series! The Moroccan miracle is still on!
Then they did it again to the Dutch.
A final thought, 2 European teams flies home today. I think well deserved from the other teams.
Yep.
Germany didn't show up. Netherlands played with an... Why, you want me to stop?
Well, sorry.
Morocco are not the underdogs anymore. They're not the feel-good story or underrated nation that people were talking about back in 2022. They are now a side that the top international teams don't want to face.
Last thought from you, Thierry.
Well, the shape, he's scared of Morocco because normally they play with 3 midfielders. They didn't play with 3 midfielders, put a back 5-4-1. I don't usually see a Dutch team playing like that before, so he's scared of Morocco.
Mohamed Ouabi has turned the Atlas Lions into one of the most complete and difficult teams to play against in international football.
Here for Saibari!
Hakimi, there's the pullback! That stayed in play, it has! Oh, they're going to be in here! Through it goes for Morocco's first chance of the game, brilliantly taken!
Okay, well,
But this shows also that Morocco is a good team.
Yeah.
2022
We talk a lot about
semi-finalists.
Brazil, but Morocco is a good team. Watch out.
Yeah, good shout. Well, they
like Thierry said before the game, do not
sleep on Morocco.
Do not sleep on them, please.
Well, they took the lead, right?
The team now combines elite European level talent with belief and experience on the biggest stage. Morocco completely dominated CAF qualifying, winning all 8 of their matches and looking far ahead of most teams on the continent. They took their good form from AFCON and the 2026 World Cup qualifiers to the actual World Cup. Morocco started their World Cup campaign versus Brazil, and right away they sent a message to everyone at the tournament that they are the real deal. They went toe-to-toe with one of the tournament favorites and got a draw. They could have easily won the game too. Outside of one moment of brilliance from Vinny, Morocco were in complete control. Against Scotland, there was a typical Morocco performance. Saibari helped them take an early lead in the 2nd minute, and they never let Scotland back into the game. They play like me in FIFA. Take a 1-0 lead, and just don't let the opposition touch the ball. The final group game was a little trickier. The African champions initially struggled versus Haiti and had to come back from behind twice. But goals from the substitutes, Soufiane Rahimi and Yassine, won them the game. By the end of the group stage, Morocco had gotten unbeaten with 2 wins and a draw, matching Brazil on points while finishing with a +3 goal difference. More importantly, they looked like a team that could beat opponents in multiple different ways. Then came the round of 32. Facing the Netherlands in Monterrey, the Atlas Lions went up against one of Europe's biggest names, a Dutch team that had topped their group and were in excellent form after spanking both Sweden and Tunisia. It actually looked like they were going to win after Gakpo gave them the lead in the 72nd minute, but Morocco never panicked. They kept pushing and were finally rewarded in stoppage time with an Issa Diop header. When the match went to penalties, Morocco looked like the calmer side. After what was probably the greatest bad penalty shootout I have seen in a long time, Saibari confidently buried the winning penalty to seal a 3-2 shootout win and send the Atlas Lions into the round of 16. This current group of players honestly feels like a true golden generation for Moroccan football. Across the pitch, you see players competing at some of the biggest clubs in Europe, while still carrying a huge amount of pride whenever they wear the national team shirt. At the back, Bono remains one of the most important players in the squad. Ever since his heroics at the 2022 World Cup, he has become almost legendary in Moroccan football culture. His calmness, reflexes, and ability to deliver in huge moments continue giving the defense enormous confidence. I mean, look at his save on Somerville's penalty. Then there's Ashraf Hakimi, who has fully become the face of the modern national team. As the captain, Hakimi brings leadership and world-class quality every single game. His speed down the right side is almost impossible to deal with, and he's constantly changing matches just with his attacking runs and energy. Whether Morocco are defending deep or attacking aggressively, Hakimi is usually at the center of everything. In the attack, Brahim Diaz has quickly become one of the most exciting players in the entire project.
Controls beautifully. Square ball, and there it is! Not to be denied, the top scorer in qualifying.
After choosing to represent Morocco internationally, despite also being eligible for Spain, the Real Madrid playmaker instantly connected with the supporters. His technical ability, creativity, and composure between the lines give Morocco another level of attacking quality. I mean, look at his assist to Saibari versus Brazil.
Diaz sifting it through here for Saibari! What a finish!
The guy also dribbles the ball like it's stuck to his feet with glue and has the ability to create something out of nothing. Just please do not try a Panenka again. Up front is Saibari, who has had an amazing tournament. He scored versus Brazil, scored the only goal versus Scotland, scored against Haiti, and then of course had the winning penalty against the Dutch. He is set to move to Bayern after this World Cup, and you can see why. He combines raw power with surprising creativity. He has the strength and speed to blow past defenders, but he's just as capable of stopping suddenly, changing direction, and creating space for himself. Add in a real eye for goal, and he's a constant threat. His versatility is also another huge asset. He can play out wide, drift inside, or even lead the line as the number 9 when needed. Then you have Mazraoui, who looks more like an imam than a footballer. He's so versatile he can pretty much play anywhere, but he can play right back, center back, left back. Then you have Diop, who's built like a tank at center back, but don't be fooled by his big frame. He's also very comfortable with the ball at his feet in possession. Ounahi remains really important to Morocco's midfield. His breakout performance in the 2022 World Cup made him more well known, and his role is more important than ever. Ounahi glides past players in tight spaces and is so good at helping Morocco in transition in the 4-2-3-1 setup. Right behind Ounahi is of course the teenage sensation, Bouhaddi, the man who is so calm that he was clapping mid-game for his teammates versus Brazil. It's hard to believe he's only 18 years old. No matter how much pressure he's under, he never seems to panic. He always looks like he has an extra second on the ball. His spatial awareness is just as impressive. He's constantly finding pockets of space, making the right pass, and keeping the game moving. Fun fact, he's a mathematics student, so naturally this brother plays football like he's solving equations in the classroom. Next to him is El Ainaoui. He is the player that keeps everything moving as well, covering huge amounts of ground, winning the ball back, and setting the tempo. His energy has been a huge reason why Morocco have been so difficult to play against. Then you have the 22-year-old Bilal El Khanous, who's already seen as one of the biggest symbols of Morocco's future. The Stuttgart midfielder has developed into a highly exciting attacking playmaker, and what makes his rise even more interesting is his connection with the manager, Mohamed Ouabi. Ouabi worked closely with El Khanous during his youth development years at Anderlecht, so the two already understand each other extremely well, both tactically and personally. This team no longer wants to be remembered simply for producing one magical tournament run in Qatar. They're trying to prove that Morocco truly belongs among football's global elite. The fact that this nation is so ambitious now shows you just how far they've come. Because it wasn't that long ago that Morocco were not seen as a nation that was capable of making deep runs in big tournaments. Morocco first appeared at the World Cup in 1970 in Mexico, becoming the only African representative at the tournament. At the time, African football was still not fully respected globally, so simply competing well against major nations carried huge importance. In their opening match against West Germany, the Atlas Lions shocked everyone by taking the lead in the first half. Even though Germany eventually came back to win 2-1, Morocco showed incredible organization and discipline against one of the strongest teams in the world. After losing 3-0 to Peru, Morocco closed the tournament with a 1-1 draw against Bulgaria thanks to a goal from Mahoub Ghazouani. The draw became historic because it gave Africa its first ever point at a World Cup. It may sound small now, but at the time it was a massive moment for African football, and it helped open the door for future generations. Then came the legendary 1986 World Cup, once again hosted in Mexico. This tournament completely changed Moroccan football history. Morocco were in an incredibly difficult group with Poland, England, and Portugal. Most people expected them to finish at the bottom without much resistance. Instead, the Atlas Lions became one of the biggest stories of the tournament. Under Brazilian coach Jose Faria, Morocco defended with unbelievable discipline and tactical organization. They held both Poland and England to 0-0 draws, frustrating teams filled with far bigger stars and reputations. Then came the final group match against Portugal in Guadalajara, and what happened that night became legendary. Abdelrazak Khairi scored twice in the first half, completely shocking Portugal.
Morocco onto it, and finding the net from distance. Swept in by Khalifa. That is an unbelievable strike!
Then Abdelkarim Meri added another goal late in the game to secure an incredible 3-1 win.
Timumi, he's found a good ball. Primo!
What is it with Morocco and beating Portugal? They love it. Anyways, Morocco ended up finishing top of the group, and that achievement made history. They became the first African and Arab nation ever to win a World Cup group and reach the knockout rounds. Across Africa and the Arab world, the victory became a symbol of pride and possibility. Now, the dream finally ended in the round of 16 against West Germany, but even there, Morocco fought heroically. They defended brilliantly for almost the entire match and looked close to forcing extra time before disaster struck late on. In the 88th minute, German legend Lothar Matthäus smashed home a free kick to give West Germany a heartbreaking 1-0 win. But even in defeat, Morocco had changed football history forever. Now, the 1990s were a painful but important period for Moroccan football. The team kept showing flashes of real quality, but the heartbreaking moments and small mistakes constantly stopped them from making history. The 1994 World Cup in the United States is statistically Morocco's worst tournament because they lost all 3 group matches. In the opening game, they lost 1-0 to a very strong Belgium team, but they did compete much better than many people expected. That defeat put huge pressure on the second match against Saudi Arabia in New York, after Morocco went behind early through a penalty, but then they equalized from a smart finish from Mohamed Chaouch. But right before halftime, disaster struck. The goalie, Khalil Azmi, made a huge mistake when a long-range shot from Fouad Anwar slipped through his hands and into the net. Saudi Arabia won 2-1, and Morocco suddenly found itself on the edge of elimination. A final 2-1 loss to the Netherlands ended the tournament, and many Moroccan fans left feeling frustrated because the team had shown enough quality to compete but kept getting punished for silly defensive errors and missed moments. Then came the 1998 World Cup in France, which many supporters still see as one of the most talented Moroccan teams ever assembled. In the opening match against Norway, Mustafa Hadji scored one of the greatest goals in Moroccan football history.
Here's Hadji. Gets a shot in. Oh, they've scored! You just knew it was coming.
It was pure class. Then later in the match, Abdel Jalil Hada scored with an incredible volley to restore Morocco's lead after an unfortunate own goal had leveled things. The game ended 2-2, but Morocco had really announced itself to the tournament with style. The next match against Brazil, though, was much tougher. Their squad was stacked with world-class stars, and Morocco lost 3-0, leaving the team needing a miracle in the final group against Scotland. And the crazy part is Morocco delivered. The Atlas Lions completely dominated Scotland and won 3-0. The players and the fans started celebrating wildly. They were orgasming because it looked like Morocco had done enough to qualify. Then, the devastating news arrived. In the other group match, Norway scored 2 late goals to shock Brazil with a 2-1 win. That result pushed Norway above Morocco by a single point and eliminated them from the tournament. For many Moroccan fans, it remains one of the most heartbreaking moments in the country's football history. The team played incredible football and came so close to reaching the knockout rounds, only for the dream to disappear because of results that weren't in their hands. All of Morocco's previous heartbreaks, near misses, and historic moments eventually built towards one unforgettable tournament, the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Going into the competition, very few people truly believed Morocco could make a deep run. They were placed into a difficult group with the 2018 finalist Croatia, world number 2 Belgium, and the Great White North, Canada. Most predictions had them fighting just to survive the group stage. Instead, Morocco shocked the football world. Under Walid Regragui, the Atlas Lions became one of the most organized and disciplined teams in the entire tournament. They started by holding Croatia to a hard-fought 0-0 draw before producing one of the biggest upsets of the group stage against Belgium. Morocco defeated Belgium 2-0.
And from Ziyech, all the way in. Whipped in. Oh, it's gone in this time.
They completely outworked and outplayed one of the most talented squads in the world. Then they beat Canada 2-1 to finish at the top of the group, something almost nobody expected before the tournament began. That set up a round of 16 clash against Spain. For 2 straight hours, Morocco defended with unbelievable discipline and concentration. I mean, I just got tired watching them defend, and I was sitting on my couch. Spain dominated possession, but Morocco's defensive structure refused to break. The match ended 0-0 after extra time and went to penalties. And that's when Bono became a national legend. The Moroccan goalkeeper produced one of the greatest penalty shootout performances in World Cup history, saving every Spanish penalty he faced. Then, with the pressure of an entire continent on his shoulders, Hakimi stepped up and finished the shootout with an ice-cold Panenka that instantly became one of the defining images of the tournament.
تاريخنا يا الله يا رب يا الله يا رب يا الله يا رب المغرب للتاريخ المغرب للتاريخ المغرب إلى الدور القادم فخر العرب إلى الدور القادم.
The celebrations across Morocco, all of Africa, and the Arab world were unbelievable. But Morocco wasn't even done yet. In the quarterfinals, they faced Portugal, another football giant filled with superstar players. Right before halftime, Youssef En-Nesyri launched himself into the air to meet a cross. And this man rose above everyone and dunked on the Portuguese back line.
Goalkeeper at fault, no question about that.
With that win, Morocco became the first African nation and the first Arab nation ever to reach a World Cup semi-final. Eventually, the dream ended against France. Morocco lost 2-0 while dealing with major defensive injuries and exhausted players. But even in defeat, the team continued fighting until the final whistle. By the end of that tournament, Morocco had completely changed the way the football world viewed African football, the way they viewed Morocco as a country. Their 4th place finish in Qatar became the greatest World Cup achievement ever by an African nation and one of the most important moments in the history of the continent's football. Now, Morocco's rise in world football did not happen by accident. It came from years of planning, investment, and a determination to push the country to a completely new level internationally. The Moroccan Federation invested heavily into modern training facilities, youth academies, and long-term player development. At the same time, they successfully convinced elite dual nationality players like Brahim Diaz and Hakimi to represent Morocco, giving the national team a level of quality and depth it never had before. All of those decisions slowly transformed Morocco from a talented underdog into one of the strongest football nations in the world. These guys carry far more than just the hopes of Morocco itself. Millions of supporters around the world see this team as a symbol of pride and possibility. Now, the 2026 World Cup that they are entering is super confusing. There's new rules, new teams. To understand everything you need to know about the tournament, you have to watch this guide right here.